Hey, it's Manu.
And Stu.
Hey, every week we bring you all the vinyl release highlights of that particular week, and this week is very special, so it's a special episode of it. It's the unboxing for all those Record Store Day titles that didn't make it in April,
Right.
and now they're coming.
Yep. So I'm sure a lot of you guys that are new to vinyl collecting and just the vinyl community in general are like, what the hell? Why is there so many Record Store Days? But this particular issue, right?
Don't call it Record Store Day,
exactly.
please.
RSD drop. But this is just a result of there being manufacturing delays with the pandemic and everything. So this is stuff that should have been out in April, got delayed a little bit, so they decided to put it all on another day in June. So
yeah, I guess
here we
that's
are.
not a bad option. At least it's all in 2 days.
Yep. And this is not
it's
just
not
like
just like trickle in.
Yep. And this is not just leftover afterthought stuff. I mean, this is some big heavy hitting titles in here, some stuff that would have made Record Store Day in April just huge, considering how big it already was. So
absolutely.
So,
yeah. I mean, those titles, there's not really a reason that we know of. It's not because they were bad.
Right. It's just stuff that just didn't get pressed in time.
But it's really a considerable amount of records and good stuff. So
good stuff.
Yeah, let's see what we got. We're starting with some classic rock legends. It's Creedence Clearwater Revival. This is a 7-inch of their song Traveling Band and Who'll Stop the Rain. Traveling Band at the Royal Albert Hall and Who'll Stop the Rain live at Oakland Coliseum.
Yep. And it's done by Craft Recordings. They always do stuff up nice. So, yep. Very cool. This next one here is, I guess, a 10-inch, but not really. It's kind of it's a gravestone, headstone by Hailstorm.
Cool.
Yep. Hailstorm, Back from the Dead. So, Back from the Dead, Long Live Rock. Not sure if this is just singles or if this is actual live versions of the songs. Not sure. You guys will have to let us know. Yep. Hailstorm, very sweet-looking picture disc. Unusual.
All right. Yeah, it just came out with a new album a few weeks or so ago. So, title track off the new album, if you liked it.
Yeah, so that probably was meant to come out before the full album. So, yeah.
That was probably the plan.
Yep,
that didn't work out.
Yep. But hey, it's still a cool picture disc either way.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one that I may have gotten the most comments about this one.
I think people are anticipating this one, yep.
Yeah, the Royal Tenenbaums soundtrack. Definitely going to be a big hit. Some really big names on here. Bob Dylan, The Clash, Ramones, Velvet Underground. Yeah, it's a legendary soundtrack.
First time on Sky Blue and Olive Green vinyl.
Yeah, in case you were wondering if it was ever out on Sky Blue or Olive Green.
This is the first time.
This is the first time, man. This is special.
Yep.
But really, like, any version was almost impossible to get at a reasonable price, so it's nice that it's being reissued, no matter the color.
This next one is my personal favorite, the one I most anticipate from this drop. This is Surfboard. Sure most of you haven't heard of them, but they're actually a pretty big deal in New York. They're sort of kings and queen of the New York art punk scene. Very visually entertaining, just completely fun, totally hip, just amazing band. They kind of get lumped in with Amyl and the Sniffers because it's kind of like a similar approach, visually and on the stage, but they're a bit different than Amyl and the Sniffers. They're not as full tilt, high tempo, at all times. These guys kind of venture more into, classic punk sound. They remind me often of Richard Hell and the Voidoids, but super, super fun band. Danny Miller, their singer, is just an amazing superstar, just, complete rock star. She's kind of a mix between Susie Sue, Polystyrene, Vivian Westwood, just an amazingly hot mess. So this is a great record. This is the one they just put out in 2021, first time on vinyl. If you want to be cooler than all your other friends, come get this. Surfboard.
All right. Nice. Then we have, sorry, Jim James. It'll be hard to follow that, but he's doing it in a somber, mellow way. This is new renditions or acoustic versions of a lot. I don't think the whole album, but the majority of that last My Morning Jacket album that came out last year by Jim James. And this is actually on 45, interestingly. So,
very cool. Something that Another one, let's see, we've got another live album. This is a 3 LP, 180 gram red vinyl. Pressed at 33 1/3, recorded live at the Hammersmith Apollo in 2011. This is Peter Gabriel's Live Blood. So don't miss that one.
Absolutely. I mean, it's heavy.
Yep. This one's heavy as well. Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, it's like a super long track.
Yeah, super long track. Tons of tracks.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here.
Yep, tons of guest features. We've got Lil Wayne and Drake. Just tons of stuff. This is not exactly our wheelhouse, so we don't know if this is a different cover, if this has been pressed on vinyl before, first time, we don't know. Fill us in. Nicki Minaj.
We got it.
Yep, we got it.
Then we have Madness with a nice little EP. This is like this compilation, or I guess these tracks together for the first time on vinyl. Definitely a legendary band, cult band from the 80s.
80s, new wave, skyish, I guess you could
Yeah,
call
they
it.
kind of like, you know,
Our house
specials
in the
and stuff
middle
like
of
that.
our street.
Yeah, I mean, they had like big pop hits
Yep.
too.
And then about a decade later, we got Collective Soul. This was a late 90s radio rock, power pop, I guess you can call them, band. This is the album with Precious Declaration on it, huge hit. Hasn't been easy to find for quite some time. So Kraft Records put this special 25th anniversary out, remastered by Paul Blakemore, lacquers cut by Kevin Gray, and that's always a good thing. So Collective Soul, don't miss it.
All right. Then we have Charade Way. Got famous, of course, with My Chemical Romance. And yeah, this album has been really hard to get on vinyl for a long time. It's now coming out on blue vinyl.
Yep.
And yeah, definitely, I think, highly anticipated. I think this is going to be a pretty popular one.
They made it available again in a very cool color. So, right, Miles Davis live. It's a jazz legend. Really needs no description.
Yeah,
This
hey,
is
it's Miles Davis.
yeah, this is some recordings from the early '80s in Montreal. So Miles Davis. I think these are unreleased tracks. Never before released. It's from the forthcoming release, the Bootleg Series Volume 7. So Miles Davis, always a solid purchase.
All right, then we have
This is a big one.
Yeah, absolutely. This is maybe the highlight,
big
one
one.
of the big ones, definitely. Pearl Jam, live on 2 legs from their 1998 Yield tour. I mean, they were one of the most exciting live bands of the 90s, I guess.
And this has been, you haven't
this
been
is
able
Pearl
to,
Jam, I
yeah,
mean.
you haven't been able to get this for decades.
Yeah, first time on vinyl in over 20 years, really, since it first came out, and I'm guessing that was a really short run at the time, of course. So, yeah, finally you have a chance to get this without
we got a few
breaking the
copies of it,
bank.
but not many, and I know they're going to go fast. So
Yeah, for that one,
that's one you might want to get here Saturday for.
I would think so, yeah.
And for you hip-hop fans, we got some MF Doom, Victor Vaughn.
Yeah, that came out in 2003 originally. I don't know if it ever came out on vinyl actually before, but definitely
it's a reissue of some sort. And if you didn't believe us, this was stuff that should have been out in April. It says here on the hype sticker, April 23rd, 2022. So it was meant for April, but we're getting it now, better late than never.
All right, then probably the highlight for the metal community.
This is the second Voivod that they've released this year.
We had what was the other
Angel
one?
Rat, I believe.
Yeah, that one actually did make it on time, but now we have Nothing Face.
And it's on some special color.
Yeah, it is pink with blue swirl, but
the cover.
yeah, first LP reissue since 1989, newly mastered specifically for vinyl by Peter Moore.
Yep.
So
that takes care of our metalheads. This is for our punk fans. This is that classic Nitro Records comp from back in the day that was on everybody's floorboards in our cars or melting on the dashboard. I think this is the first time it's been available on vinyl. This is pretty solid records with Guttermouth, Vandals, The Offspring, Jughead's Revenge, just all the big skate punk bands that were on the Nitro roster back in the day. Finally available on vinyl. Very cool. Kraft Recordings put it out too, so it's going to sound great.
A lot of Kraft, huh?
Yeah, Kraft is really representing.
Then this is like the type of record that I think makes Records Today so much fun. It's basically a trip down memory lane for TV nerds, and actually, aren't we all like TV to a certain degree?
Especially guys that grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, 62 theme songs
62
for TV shows from the 50s into the 90s, and yeah, maybe to just point some out, we have, I don't know, Full House, I remember that.
The 18, Fall Guy, MacGyver, Quantum Leap, The Munsters, Bewitched, Family Affair, Green Acres.
The Simpsons.
There's
Dynasty. I mean, it's crazy. Just looking at it is kind of fun.
There's one glaring omission that I'm kind of bummed about. They don't have the WKRP theme song on there. But yeah.
Can't have it all.
Can't have it all. There's no Friends on it either, which is probably a positive.
Yeah, you heard that one.
We've heard. We don't need to hear that anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, but this is really a fun one. 50
Yep,
years
very
of
fun.
TV's greatest hits
Yep.
on 2 records.
Yep. Speaking of 2 records, we might as well do these at the same time.
Yeah, that's
Cameo Parkway, the classic label from the 50s and 60s, have put out these 2 compilations. This is just beautiful packaging, and I think this one is dance craze hits, so stuff like the Twist, Shimmy Shimmy, what else? The Bristol Stomp, great song by the DeVelles.
It's nice that every now and then I can say I'm too young for that.
But this is stuff I grew up. The first music I was exposed to by my mom was this stuff. So this is a really great record. This is same sort of deal, but with soul from 1964, 1967. So sort of a mid-60s soul from the classic label Cameo Parkway. Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Nice. All right, and
from that same era.
Beautiful stuff. Of course, we're here in New Orleans, or right outside of New Orleans.
Yep.
So of course, Fats
Yeah.
is always represented here.
Yeah.
Had to get some of his stuff.
Yeah.
This is was originally released in 1963, and yeah. I mean, what can we say about
We've
Fats?
got a ton of you stuff
beautiful.
here. We
Yeah.
might as well get anything that comes out.
Yeah, we got a lot of his stuff here too. So if you're around, you're a Fats fan, check out the Fats Domino section.
Yep. And for Grateful Dead fans, we've got a Jerry Garcia acoustic band, Ragged But Right.
Yeah, 1987, I think.
1987, live stuff. First time on vinyl, pressed on 180 grams, limited to 7,500 copies. Jerry Garcia, always popular.
Absolutely.
What we got here?
Ray Charles, yeah, he. This I think is a really good one, a really interesting one. It's all duets with some really big names: Norah Jones, Van Morrison, Elton John, Willie
James
Nelson,
Taylor.
James Taylor. Yeah, man. This is. I think it was a super popular record when it first came out, and yeah, finally out on vinyl. I think it was maybe on vinyl before. I don't know if it's the first time, but definitely not in a while. So yeah, this is really a good one.
Yeah, they typically wouldn't press something like that if it's readily available. So, yep. Here we go, and let's do another 2 for here.
Yeah,
with
there's another
Tangerine
couple.
Dream.
Tangerine Dream, like they're guys like one of those legendary cult bands. That
Typically do a lot of soundtracks.
Yeah, and this. I mean, this is a live album over here.
1975.
This is studio, but it is really like a soundscapey kind of, I guess, ahead of their time. They're really a special band. I gotta admit, I don't know a whole lot about them.
I think this one comes with a special 45 or 7-inch.
It does. It's a bonus 12-inch 45.
12-inch 45 EP.
EP.
Okay, so yeah. Tangerine Dream, those will go fast.
Yeah, if you want those, you probably want to get here early. I think.
This was more of our generation, but they were unfortunately caught between generations. This is Warrior Soul. They kind of came out at the end of the hair metal, arena metal scene and the beginning of the grunge scene.
Yeah, they kind of had bad timing, I guess.
Yeah,
they were
so
like
they kinda got
marketed
lost.
as hair metal, but then hair metal wasn't cool anymore. But they really were much grittier, much heavier than.
And they still made a big impact on a lot of people, And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not that they were like complete lost, but I think they could have been bigger had it been exactly the right time for them. That's the music business, I guess. But
this is demos and unreleased stuff from Warrior Soul.
Cool stuff.
Right.
Band that should have been bigger.
And last but certainly not least, the artist formerly known as Prince.
And then again known as Prince. But
again.
at the time, he was not known as Prince.
It was this.
Yeah, so this is the first album that Prince released after he didn't want to be Prince anymore.
Right.
And yeah, it is basically an homage, as they said, to the promo version.
A recreation of the cardboard and everything. Yep.
So that's really cool. Cool idea, I think.
Yeah, it was only
did
it was a
that.
U.S. only promo version of that record, so you can get your hands on it now without having to shell out $700-800.
Yeah, another one of the highlights that we wanted to save for last.
Yeah.
I would say between that, Pearl Jam, I would say
Miles
the Royal
Davis,
Tenenbaums, Miles Davis, yeah.
Charade Way. Yes, like we said, some big
Surfboard
stuff.
might only be student.
Yes,
like somebody
Surfboard.
you should
Surfboard.
check them out.
Yeah, definitely look them up, Surfboard. But yeah, so it's coming this Saturday. Typical record store day rules apply. Only one copy per title per person. No holds. Can't sell anything online or anything until the next day. We're going to open at our typical hour, 11 o'clock. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, be here.
Be here before then if you want the Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Hope we have a nice celebration again. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Come out and have fun with us. 22 Sound, Mandeville, Louisiana.
And don't forget to comment, let us know what records you're looking forward to, and subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
We're active all the time.
Yep. See you next time.
Bye, y'all.